Did you know the very travel security tip you've trusted for years, the one you've followed on every trip, every city, every crowded street, might actually make you the perfect target for thieves? Many seniors believe that by carefully following popular advice they are safe, but in reality, the rules you've been told to obey can backfire in ways you never imagined. Imagine walking through a bustling European market, feeling confident that you're doing everything right, only to realize within seconds that someone has lifted your wallet, or even worse, your passport. Thousands of seniors have experienced exactly this, losing cash, important documents, or treasured keepsakes, just because they followed a tip that sounded smart on paper. What if the very precaution you've relied on for years is now signaling to thieves that you're an easy mark? And it's not always obvious. These situations happen so quickly, so subtly, that you barely notice until it's too late. You might feel embarrassed, frustrated, even violated, wondering how something meant to protect you could put you at risk. That's where this video comes in. This is Senior Travel Adventures, dedicated to helping seniors over 60 travel smarter, safer, and with confidence. Hit like right now to protect yourself from costly mistakes, and subscribe so you never miss life-changing travel advice that keeps your money, your documents, and your peace of mind safe. Today, we're revealing the surprising mistakes hidden in common travel tips that could ruin your trip before it even begins, and showing exactly how to stay one step ahead of thieves, so you can explore the world with joy instead of worry. Meet Marcellus Winthrop, 70, a retired history professor from Portland, Oregon, whose lifelong love of learning extended far beyond books and lectures. He loved to explore the world. Mars meticulously planned every trip, researching every street, museum, and cafe, and he prided himself on following every travel security tip he could find online. He wore a money belt, carried a small backpack with hidden compartments, and always kept his cash and passport close at hand. He thought he was prepared for anything. But on one sunny afternoon in a bustling European city, all of that careful preparation couldn't protect him. While stopping to admire a centuries-old fountain, a subtle distraction by a passing crowd was enough for a skilled thief to snatch his wallet from a hidden pocket, leaving him stunned and stranded. The documents, cash, and even a cherished credit card were gone, and in that moment, Mars realized that blindly following popular advice was not enough. The feeling of violation was immediate, his sense of security shattered, his confidence shaken. He felt embarrassed for being targeted, anxious about what to do next, and frustrated that something so simple could derail his carefully planned adventure. Seniors, this could happen to any of us. Even the most cautious travelers, the ones who believe they are doing everything right, can fall victim if they are unaware of the subtle ways thieves exploit common habits. Mars's story isn't just about money or documents, it's about the emotional toll of feeling vulnerable in a foreign place, the sudden helplessness, and the frustration of having plans ruined. By understanding what truly puts us at risk, and which widely trusted tips to question, we can travel smarter, maintain our independence, and enjoy our adventures with confidence rather than fear. Mars's experience is a cautionary tale that highlights the importance of not just following advice blindly, but adapting it thoughtfully to protect ourselves. Advice 1. Wearing a visible money belt. Many seniors have been advised for years that wearing a money belt over their clothes is the safest way to protect cash, passports, and credit cards while traveling. The advice seems logical: keep your valuables close to your body, and you reduce the risk of theft. Friends, travel blogs, and online guides often repeat this tip as if it were universal, presenting it as an unquestionable rule for safe travel. However, in real-world situations, this seemingly protective method can actually increase your vulnerability. A bulky money belt worn visibly over clothing acts as an obvious signal to experienced pickpockets. Thieves know exactly what to look for. Any noticeable bulge beneath a shirt, sweater, or jacket instantly tells them that someone is carrying cash or documents. What appears to be protection can, in reality, become a beacon, attracting unwanted attention and increasing the likelihood of theft. Mars, a 70-year-old retired history professor, experienced this firsthand during a trip to Europe. On a bright spring morning, he walked through a bustling outdoor market wearing a thick money belt over his shirt, following the advice he had read online. Confident in his precautionary measures, he admired the architecture, stopped to sample local delicacies, and took photos of the crowded streets. What he did not realize was that thieves were strategically observing tourists who appeared overprepared or visibly secure. Within moments, a minor bump from someone passing by and a subtle distraction orchestrated by skilled pickpockets created the perfect opportunity. Mars felt a sudden tug and realized, with disbelief and panic, that his wallet, a couple of credit cards, and even a spare passport had been taken. The protective measure he had relied on so faithfully had instantly turned into a target, leaving him shocked, anxious, and unsure how to recover from the loss. This incident demonstrates a crucial lesson. Blindly following popular travel advice can backfire, especially when it is widely known and predictable. Instead of wearing a bulky, visible money belt, seniors should consider more discreet alternatives that keep valuables inconspicuous. Options such as hidden compartments sewn into clothing, lightweight neck pouches worn under shirts, or RFID-blocking travel wallets placed unobtrusively inside bags are far more effective. The goal is to ensure that your valuables are not immediately obvious to anyone scanning the crowd. Another essential precaution is distributing your valuables across different locations. Keeping all your cash, cards, or important documents in a single place is risky. Instead, store some items in hotel safes, hidden compartments, or secondary travel pouches so that even if one location is compromised, you still have access to essentials. Mars now splits his cash between a small concealed pocket and a discreet travel pouch, carrying only the amount he needs for the day. This strategy enhances both security and peace of mind, reducing anxiety during excursions and allowing him to enjoy travel without constant fear. Situational awareness is equally critical. Being alert to your surroundings, noticing unusual crowding, and observing distractions can make the difference between a safe experience and a theft. Even the most cleverly hidden compartment cannot protect you if you are unaware of potential threats. Mars's experience illustrates that adaptability, discretion, and careful attention to detail are far more effective than following conventional advice blindly. By understanding how thieves exploit predictable behaviors and signals, seniors can maintain both safety and confidence while traveling. Have you ever been targeted in a crowd or lost something while traveling despite following advice? Share your experience in the comments below so others can learn from your story. Advice 2. Flashing cash or cards to pay quickly. Many seniors are advised to keep cash in their hands while traveling for convenience and to make quick transactions. The advice seems practical. Having money or cards ready can speed up payments at markets, street vendors, or cafes, and reduce delays in lines. Travel blogs and guides often recommend this as a way to stay efficient and avoid fumbling through wallets or bags in busy areas. However, while this may appear harmless, openly displaying cash or cards can make you an easy target for opportunistic thieves. When you hold a thick wad of bills or pull out multiple credit cards in public, you are sending a clear signal, I have money, and it's easily accessible. Thieves, particularly in crowded tourist spots, are trained to notice these signals and exploit them in seconds. Mars, the 70-year-old retired history professor, learned this the hard way during a trip to southern France. Walking through a busy artisan market, he spotted unique souvenirs and decided to pay with a large stack of cash he had kept in his hand for convenience. As he was distracted by a street performer, a subtle nudge from behind caused him to drop some bills. Before he realized it, a thief had taken part of his cash. Mars felt a mix of shock, frustration, and embarrassment, realizing that what he thought was a harmless, practical habit had exposed him to a preventable loss. That moment made him understand that even small lapses in caution, like displaying money openly, can have consequences far beyond the monetary loss. The key lesson is clear: openly flashing cash or cards in public is risky, even in areas that feel safe. Instead, seniors should practice discreet handling of money and payment methods. Only pull out the exact amount needed for a transaction, and return it immediately to a secure pocket, bag, or travel pouch. Consider using contactless card payments or card taps where possible, keeping both hands free from unnecessary exposure. These subtle changes drastically reduce the chance that someone will notice what you are carrying or seize an opportunity to steal. Mars now follows a strict routine whenever he makes a payment. He prepares bills in small, manageable amounts in a hidden compartment, taking out only what is required for the transaction. When using a credit or debit card, he holds it discreetly, shielding it from onlookers, and completes the payment swiftly before returning it to his secure travel pouch. This approach gives him confidence, allowing him to enjoy shopping and exploring without constantly worrying about theft. Another important consideration is situational awareness. While handling money or cards, pay attention to your surroundings, notice unusual crowding, and watch for people who seem overly interested in your actions. Thieves often operate in teams, using distractions or bumps to create opportunities. Being alert and moving deliberately can prevent them from ever gaining the chance to strike. Mars's experience shows that a combination of discreet handling, preparation, and awareness is far more effective than following the conventional advice of keeping money in your hand for convenience. By making small adjustments to how we handle cash and cards, seniors can protect their valuables while traveling, reducing stress and ensuring that financial mishaps do not overshadow the joy of their adventures. Do you use cash openly while traveling? Share your experiences in the comments below so other seniors can learn how to stay safer while exploring new places. Advice 3. Trusting crowd safety zones. For years, seniors have been told that busy tourist areas are inherently safer because the presence of crowds deters crime. The logic seems straightforward. More people around means less chance of being targeted. Travel guides, blogs, and even tour operators reinforce this idea, suggesting that popular attractions, plazas, and main streets are the safest places to explore. While crowds can sometimes offer protection, this advice can be misleading. Experienced thieves are fully aware that seniors often congregate in predictable spots, relying on the perceived safety of crowds. These areas become hunting grounds for pickpockets and opportunistic criminals who understand human behavior and patterns. Mars, the 70-year-old retired history professor, discovered the risks of trusting crowd safety the hard way. During a trip to a famous European city, he followed a popular tourist route packed with museums, cafes, and souvenir shops, believing that the bustling crowd offered protection. Confidently navigating the streets, he stopped to admire architecture and take photos, assuming that a group of tourists around him would make him invisible to thieves. However, a small team of pickpockets had already scouted the area, knowing exactly where tourists like Mars would gather, where they would pause for photos, and how they would hold their bags or wallets. In a carefully timed distraction, one thief created a minor commotion while another skillfully extracted cash and a credit card from his bag. Mars was stunned and embarrassed, realizing that his assumptions about crowd safety had left him exposed. The key lesson for seniors is that crowds do not automatically guarantee safety. While it may feel reassuring to be surrounded by people, criminals exploit patterns and predictable behaviors. To protect yourself, it is essential to stay alert at all times, even in busy areas. Vary your route when walking between attractions, avoid lingering too long in predictable spots, and remain conscious of how and where you carry your valuables. Small, consistent precautions can make a significant difference in avoiding theft. Mars adapted his approach after this experience. He now maps out alternative routes to major attractions, avoids stopping in the same predictable locations repeatedly, and keeps his personal belongings securely tucked away in inconspicuous compartments. When he pauses to take photos or admire a scene, he ensures his bag is in front of him, hands nearby, and cash is prepped in small, manageable amounts. This proactive approach allows him to enjoy crowded tourist sites without feeling vulnerable or anxious. Another essential element is situational awareness. Pay attention to people who seem unusually close or overly interested in your actions. Watch for subtle distractions, sudden crowd movements, or individuals lingering without clear purpose. Even the most experienced travelers can be caught off guard if they assume that a crowd alone is protection. Mars's experience underscores that combining awareness, preparation, and unpredictability in movement is far more effective than relying on the assumption that busy areas are inherently safe. Have you ever felt watched or targeted in a crowded tourist spot? Share your experience in the comments below so others can learn how to remain vigilant and protect themselves while exploring popular destinations. Advice 4. Letting strangers help you. One of the most common pieces of travel advice seniors hear is to accept help from friendly locals if you look lost. It sounds wholesome. After all, many cultures are known for their hospitality, and travelers naturally want to believe in the goodness of people. However, this well-meaning advice has a dark side that often goes unnoticed until it's too late. In reality, many seasoned thieves and scam artists prey on this exact instinct. They know seniors, especially those traveling alone or appearing uncertain, are more likely to appreciate a kind offer of help. By exploiting that politeness and trust, these criminals use distraction and charm to separate travelers from their valuables. Mars learned this lesson the hard way. During his visit to Florence, he was navigating a maze of narrow streets, map in hand, when a well-dressed young man approached him with a smile. "You look a bit lost. Can I help?" the stranger asked in flawless English. Grateful for the offer, Mars accepted, explaining that he was trying to find a small local cafe. The stranger enthusiastically gestured in one direction, offering to walk him part of the way. As they strolled together, Mars felt at ease, chatting about art and Italian history. But when they reached the corner, the young man waved goodbye and disappeared into the crowd. Moments later, Mars reached for his camera and realized his bag zipper was open, his wallet was gone. That kind of theft happens in seconds. It's not about foolishness, it's about human nature. Seniors often don't want to seem rude, so they lower their guard when someone appears kind or helpful. But the truth is, professional thieves rely on that very trust. They are skilled at blending friendliness with subtle distraction. Some offer to carry luggage upstairs, others insist on helping with ticket machines, and a few even point out spilled drinks or stains as a ruse to get close. Each action is rehearsed to appear generous while masking the real goal, to steal unnoticed. The safest response is to politely decline unsolicited help. A simple, firm smile and a "No, thank you, I've got it handled" works wonders. If you truly need directions, choose whom to ask, preferably someone behind a counter, a store employee, or a uniformed official. Trust your instincts. If a situation feels off, it probably is. Thieves thrive on your hesitation, hoping your manners will keep you from walking away. Instead, give yourself permission to prioritize safety over courtesy. Mars eventually adopted a new strategy. He started using his phone's GPS discreetly, stepping aside into a cafe or shop when he needed to reorient himself, rather than standing in the open. He also learned to carry his essentials in a crossbody bag with locking zippers, worn in front where he could keep a hand on it. By becoming selective about when and from whom he accepted help, he not only avoided theft but also regained a sense of confidence in his independence. These experiences remind seniors that travel safety isn't just about locks or money belts, it's about awareness and boundaries. Being polite shouldn't come at the cost of being vulnerable. If your gut whispers that something feels off, listen to it. That inner voice is your best travel companion. Have you ever had a gut feeling save you while traveling? Share your story in the comments, it could help another senior avoid the same trap. Advice 5. Leaving valuables in plain sight at hotels. Many seniors, especially those who have spent decades in safe communities or who grew up in an era of unlocked doors and neighborly trust, often carry that same mindset into their travels. They believe that leaving a few personal items in the open inside a hotel room is harmless. After all, it's a private space, right? Unfortunately, this popular but misguided sense of security can be costly. The belief that "I'm just stepping out for a minute" or "it's fine, the staff seems honest" is one of the most common mistakes that make seniors targets of theft during their travels. Modern thieves, whether opportunistic or experienced, know how to exploit moments of inattention, especially in hotels, hostels, and cruise cabins. Mars discovered this painful truth during a 2-week trip through Spain. One morning, he planned to take a quick shower before heading to breakfast. He placed his wallet, a few €100 in cash, and a cherished wristwatch on the bedside table, assuming no one would enter the room during that short time. 10 minutes later, he returned from the bathroom to find the windows slightly ajar and his items gone. There was no sign of forced entry. Whether it was a staff member who noticed through the open curtains earlier, or an opportunist who slipped in during room service, Mars couldn't be sure. What he did know was the unsettling feeling that followed, the violation of realizing that what felt like a personal sanctuary had been quietly invaded. The mistake wasn't malice or carelessness, it was a misplaced sense of trust. Seniors often associate hotels with safety because of their structured environment and professional staff. Yet, even in reputable establishments, dozens of people can have access to a room: cleaners, maintenance workers, security staff, and sometimes even other guests through adjoining doors or balconies. Most thefts in hotels aren't dramatic break-ins but quiet, opportunistic moments when valuables are left visible on a desk, bed, or nightstand. A glint of jewelry or a partially open wallet can attract attention faster than you'd expect. The smartest move? Treat your hotel room like a semi-public space, not a private one. Always store valuables in the room safe if available. Before doing so, test the safe to ensure it locks securely, and avoid using obvious codes like your birth year or room number. For added protection, consider carrying a small travel lockbox or a portable diversion safe disguised as a toiletry bottle or book, items thieves are less likely to notice or bother with. Mars now travels with a slim anti-theft pouch that attaches discreetly inside his luggage liner, keeping his most valuable items completely out of sight even when he leaves the room. Another overlooked factor is housekeeping timing. If you plan to step out while your room is being cleaned, take valuables with you or store them securely. Never assume that because you'll only be gone a few minutes, it's safe to leave things out. Opportunistic theft happens in seconds, not hours. And while the majority of hotel staff are honest professionals, the rare exceptions can cause devastating financial and emotional stress for travelers, especially seniors on fixed incomes. When Mars began following these precautions, his travel experience changed. He no longer worried about what might happen while he was away from his room. Instead, he focused on the joy of his journeys, waking up in new cities, enjoying breakfast on balconies, and exploring without anxiety. His newfound vigilance didn't make him paranoid, it made him confident. So, before you step out or even step into the shower, take a moment to tuck away your wallet, watch, passport, or jewelry. Think of it as a small ritual of respect for your peace of mind. The few extra seconds it takes to hide your valuables could save you from days of stress, loss, and regret later on. Have you ever returned to your room to find something missing or misplaced? Let others learn from your experience. Your story might help a fellow traveler stay one step ahead. By the end of his travels, Mars had learned something that most people never realize until it's too late. Not every piece of advice that sounds protective truly keeps you safe. 4 years, he'd absorbed every expert recommendation, wearing visible money belts, trusting crowded areas, keeping cash handy, and even accepting friendly help from strangers, believing these actions made him less vulnerable. But those same habits were quietly turning him into a walking target. It took a few painful experiences and honest reflection for him to see that wisdom isn't just about what you do, it's about knowing what not to do. Once Mars understood this, everything about his travel mindset changed. He didn't stop exploring. In fact, he began to travel more, but with a renewed sense of calm and awareness. He no longer felt the quiet paranoia that used to trail him through airport lines or bustling markets. Instead, he moved with quiet confidence, aware of his surroundings yet unburdened by fear. Mars now enjoys his journeys with a sharper instinct, paying attention to what others overlook, spotting potential risks before they become problems, and valuing preparation over impulse. That shift didn't make him cynical, it made him free. He realized that the goal of travel after 60 isn't just to see the world, it's to experience it with peace of mind. His emotional transformation was subtle but profound. The same man who once hesitated to walk alone through a crowded square now strolled through foreign cities with measured confidence. He had learned that security isn't about avoiding adventure, it's about traveling smart enough to enjoy it fully. The burden of worry that had once shadowed his trips was replaced by a quiet sense of empowerment. Mars's story reminds seniors that wisdom isn't about fear, it's about foresight. Every trip he takes now is built on a balance of curiosity and caution, a combination that allows joy and safety to coexist. The message for every senior traveler is clear: your next trip doesn't have to be risky. Knowing what not to do is just as important as following the right rules. When you learn to question popular travel truths, you open yourself up to a deeper kind of freedom, the kind that lets you walk through any airport, board any ship, or explore any new city without the constant buzz of anxiety. Travel is supposed to inspire you, not intimidate you. And for seniors who've worked hard all their lives, that sense of peace and control is the reward you've earned. If this video helped you, take a moment to tap like and share it with a friend over 60 who loves to travel or dreams of starting again. You might save them from a mistake that could cost them hundreds, or worse, their peace of mind. And don't forget to subscribe to Senior Travel Adventures. The next video reveals a sneaky airport scam that seniors fall for every single day, often without realizing it until it's too late. It's one of the most common traps waiting at departure gates worldwide, and knowing how to spot it could save you from becoming the next victim. Adventure never expires, but it does reward those who travel smart.